on his heart when he thought about our friendship. If he ever did in those last moments of his life, I just hope that he knew that John was really rocking with him. You never know if that's about to be someone's highlight of their life. You know what I'm saying? February 8th, 2024, and this is my confession. I think in life, like, we hope that we do the right things when it comes to our personal lives and our businesses. And I recently lost a friend who I've been really thinking about. Did I service that friendship right? Did I make him feel appreciated the way that I felt that he was giving of himself when it comes down to my personal life and even our business here at Comedy Hype? My friend's name was Joe DeFrance. He was a gentleman that I met within the industry, and the thing about the industry is, like, you meet so many people. For those that are actors, producers, even entrepreneurs, you know, you're meeting so many people along the way that you just at times can tell, like, is this person genuine? Is this person really rocking with me? Is this person just here because I can offer them something? And so you kind of play this game. But with Joe and our friendship, as it happened over 6 years ago, he showed me that he was a real friend. And again, as I first met him, just in passing, he saw what we were building at the time, called The Laughing Barrel. And he was hustling, working on skits himself. And I believe we covered a skit of his, and that's how, like, our initial introduction happened. And it was very light. I don't even think we were on a call, but just on email. So time went by, and then about 6 years ago, me and Joel got real tight, and our conversations began to extend longer and longer, and to a point where, like, I was over here venting to him about, like, a girl that I had a crush on, and him just kind of encouraging me to, like, not trip about it. So that's when I kind of knew, like, we were really becoming friends, and that it was going beyond than just the business arena. So the more that happened, the more my guard started coming down, and I started really kind of just giving him my day-to-day and things that I was working on. And just within Joe's story, he was a gentleman out of LA, born and raised there. I was able to learn through his funeral service that just passed by that he had such an extensive and a large family. And he also has 2 sons. So Joe had a lot of love in terms of his family infrastructure, but also Joe helped a lot of people, and which reflected into our relationship and our friendship, that he was like a person, I think, in your team that you know is always going to be there. And what I'm struggling with is just, you know, that I invest back in the friendship the way that Joe was investing in the friendship. And like, he would call me out the blue, and for those that know me, like, I'm very, very, like, I don't like calls out the blue, because at times I could be doing something, or I just need to be in the right mental place, because I'm constantly moving and hustling. And at times he would do that when it might not be in the best time. And on different occasions, I might have texted him back and not, like, follow up on a call back. But I would try to be intentional. But I think right now, the last time he reached out was he was trying to get on a call. He had called me out the blue again. And I didn't make the intention of, like, trying to jump back on a call with him to see if he was good. I think I had texted him, and I was with my family and preoccupied. Did I do that relationship right? You know, did Joel know that I had a lot of love for him, that I loved him, and that I valued him? And that's been something that has been, I think, bothering me about it, you know, because I've had people around me pass away, and I think you just naturally reflect on, like, did you do that person right? And so I think that's kind of my lesson, you know, coming out of this with Joe, is, like, making sure that we kind of always leave things on great terms with people. I definitely will say we were on great terms. Um, at the same time, I definitely felt that I could have done a better job in making sure that he was like, and this could be just guilt, but I just wanted to make sure I could have been just a better job of let him know I was there, and not always play the business hand. And I think we do that sometimes with people that are always going to be there, so we kind of take them for granted. Um, Joe was a super super big asset to our company. One of our partners in Los Angeles, Teron, worked with Joel too. I introduced them two together when we started building our office in Los Angeles. But just like Joe's purpose, I think, was to make sure that I was good, that he was like the one consistent person that would check on me. And I think in the position of like being a lead or being a boss or being the strong friend, you don't oftentimes get people to check on you. You kind of do the checking on other people. Um, and so for Joe, for him to have been that for me, I think that was what really, really valued the relationship. And I would do the same for him. In the years that I've known him, Joe was battling a sickness, and at one point, it kind of became kind of understood that was part of his journey. And then at one point, he ended up seeming like he was getting a lot better. Um, and you kind of like when you're dealing with someone that's battling an illness, you kind of like treat it like it's kind of an everyday process, and you stop feeling less alarmed about the situation. You kind of like treat it like, okay, it's they'll this is the same old thing again. He'll be fine. We'll move on. He had to go to the hospital a lot of times for treatments, but he also was like very very supportive of his family, and I know um, his family also there. I think within his parents, just being there for them and making sure that they were good as well while he was battling that. And that was who he was, and that was the part that he played in our company. When I went to Los Angeles, Joe was my person I would hit up. If I needed something, Joe was my person I would hit up. Very selfless, very giving, very much like I got you. Joel was free. He was able to choose his freedom by being able to display so much humanity in an environment that these motherfuckers is vultures, in an environment that people are looking for opportunity to betray you, to play you, to take advantage of. And Joel made himself so vulnerable at times that, I think he was able to be free by being able to be himself and being able to be someone giving. And it makes me think about the time that for those that know, I got a motorcycle, or I have a motorcycle, and I also like riding motorcycles when I'm on my business trips, particularly like in LA. I love um, getting a bike and going to Los Angeles and going through Los Angeles and then riding to Malibu. And yeah, I'll be doing like fun stuff on my business, my business trips, because sometimes those are like my only vacations when I'm in a different city. And then I remember one time I was so desperately trying to ride my motorcycle. And LA does get cold. For those that don't know, LA does get cold. And I was trying to ride my motorcycle. And man, like I was freezing. I remember I was shivering. And I can't recall exactly where we were. But I was trying to be cool and kind of stun a little bit. Like, yeah, I got the motorcycle out. And I was so desperately trying to like enjoy this bike ride that I was cold. And at Joe, in some point in the day, we had connected, and he saw how cold I was, and he gave me his sweater. And I think like that was like his sweater. But I'm like, you in the car, so definitely let me get this sweater about you. And that was kind of like the relationship, of like Joe was there from like top to bottom. Like he was that type of person where, you know, I mean, for me that was a big deal, especially as a man. I'm like, I don't need no man give me no sweater. I got this, but nah, I took the sweater because it was that cold. Um, and the crazy thing, like Joe would, I think in kind of our last conversations, he would bring that up, like you still owe me a sweater. Um, so I still owe him a sweater, but I hope that he knows that I love him and that he's gonna be truly, truly missed in regards of like what he represented. Just a good dude. And so, um, that's kind of what where I'm thinking about. It's just my friend who was big enough to connect me with the stars and small enough to be able to give me the shirt off his back. I hope that on his heart when he thought about our friendship, if he ever did in those last moments of his life, I just hope that he knew that John was really rocking with him. And I was really, really, really sincere. What messed me up is that he put us in his obituary that I thought was like, for us, for me, it's profound because it's like, and this is Joe, by the way. It's profound because it's like you don't know how you're impacting people's lives. You don't know. Sometimes I think we downplay ourselves and our journey, but you never know if that's about to be someone's highlight of their life. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't know. You don't know how you impacting people. So Joe in the obituary it reads post graduation, Joe enthusiastically entered his field of passion. From 2010 to 2016, he served as a writer, producer, and director for Funny or Die, with skits such as Rednecks for Obama, White Girls Go Together, Trapped in Cupboards, Blood Cuz, and Black Friends, just to name a few. Joe also played an integral role at Comedy Hype from 2017 through the present as a partner and producer. And just not knowing it was gonna be in there, it definitely like, you know, choked me up a bit because it's like, man, like you just don't know. You don't know when certain relationships end, whether they're voluntary or involuntary. But Joe was a solid friend, and I would definitely want to continue to tell my team about how solid he was and that we want to continue to honor his name as we move forward. And that's the goal here. This confession was just more so to let you guys know the stories that are happening within the company. The stories that's happening within the company. Because man, this is the journey that you were invested in and that you've been seeing over the last. I think we're about year 15 for those that started when we were the Laughing Barrel in 2009. Man, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going, and we're gonna bring Joel along with us. And I hope that maybe this sparked a conversation within your personal relationships, your personal friendships to think about, just making sure y'all good. Because again, if anything were to ever happen, you're gonna definitely have that weight a little bit on you. Like, man, I hope I did that person right. So with that being said, that concludes my confession for February the 8th, 2024. Peace.